It is Goldstein here. This time I'm actually taking a knee, and thanks to a good friend who's watching, I now have a vest with proper armor in it, and I am, if I could say, a spitting distance from the savages that run the Gaza Strip. That's how close I am. Hello everybody. I can't stay here too long because the situation is extremely hot. Not just physically hot, but security-wise hot. Love you too, Robert, all my friends watching. Look where I am. That's quite literally Gaza, right there. Hamas is right across the way. You gotta be careful in case there's snipers. You never quite know. But for now, I'm taking my chances because I want you to see what's up. What's really amazing is what's right behind me in this box. Let me show you what some amazing are doing for an amazing community located on the border. Check this out. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to see that for the first time ever, a community right here on the border, one of the hardest hit communities in Israel, with terror balloons, with fires, the place that I was at fighting fires 2 weeks ago. We, Unity Warriors, you and I, no matter if you gave $1 or if you gave $1,000, we bought them a thermal drone. Thermal. That means they can fight fires quicker. That means the land of Israel will not burn as fast as it used to. You know why? Because you see here, I'm standing in a place where the forest has been burned. The land of Israel has been scorched, and they drive around for hours looking for these fires. And what do we do as Unity Warriors? We fight for unity between each other, between the nations, and between Israel. Why? Simple. Because it's important. So when other organizations are thinking, we're thinking about filling in the gaps for these heroes, meters away from Hamas, so we can protect our land, our future, and most importantly, the families who live here know that we care. So join me for another 3 minutes. We're going to learn some more together before Shabbat. Right here on the fence line. Right here next to Hamas. I'm going to head back to my little tree cover because I've learned recently, pretty sure my family wants me to come home in one piece. But again, I want y'all to see all your monthly donations beyond going towards the soldiers to their gear. And I picked up 10 helmets today. I'm going to show you after this video. We're also up eyes in the skies, kanfei nesharim, the wings of eagles, will take flight with thermal vision over this kibbutz to keep Israel secure. So I will say thank you and thank God. Now I'm going to hand over this camera to a very, very wonderful gentleman who's here with me, who will remain anonymous, and I'm going to learn some Torah with you. Most importantly, as the Kibbutz Yerushalayim. Okay. Most importantly, my rear end is to Gaza, to Hamas, and my heart and soul is to Jerusalem. And I want you all to join me. Hold my hand, shoulder to shoulder. We're going to create a line of power, of strength, from one part of the world till we reach here, to where Hamas can feel this energy. Because individually we're broken, but when we're one, nobody in the world can stop us. 1, chapter 15. Vayomer Shmuel el Shaul, and Samuel said to Saul, the Lord sent me to anoint you to be king over his people, over Israel. And now, listen to the voice of the words of the Lord. So said the Lord of hosts, I remember that which Amalek did to Israel, how he laid wait for him on the way when he came out of Egypt, and how beautiful that the words of God call Israel. We're called he, as in one person. But Amalek, the ultimate in evil, the evil that we create by not being one, was laying wait for the children of Jacob when we came out of Egypt. Now go and you shall smite Amalek. We are seeing in the world right now the true children of Abraham, joining forces. You have the sons of Ishmael who are creating peace with the sons of Jacob, together with the son of Edom. We're joining as one. Not for just our own benefit, not to create some amazing business deals, because this is the future of the world for us and for you. But behind me, Hamas doesn't represent the true children of Ishmael. Hamas doesn't represent the true children of Abraham. Hamas and those sick murderers and thugs who rule that territory with an iron fist, who keep their own people by the millions hostage so they can continue to siphon money from the world and terrorize the Jews who live here. They are the sons of Amalek. And that's why I'm reading this today. As a reminder, during the month of Elul, the month of judgment, you remember there is evil in this world. Remember what Amalek did to Israel, how he laid wait for him on the way. They dig tunnels, they fly over, they do everything in their power to fire rockets and sniper attacks and mortars. Amalekites! Now go and you shall smite Amalek, and you shall utterly destroy all that is his, and you shall not have pity on him. And you shall slay both man and woman, infant and suckling, ox and sheep, camel and donkey. Boy, those are some tough words. As we say down south, them are fighting words. But they're not my words. Open up Samuel, read it for yourself. And Saul called the people together, and he counted them in Telaim, 200,000 footmen, and 10,000 the men of Judah. And Saul came as far as the city of Amalek, and he fought in that valley. And Saul said to the Kenite, turn away and go down from among the Amalekites, lest I destroy you with them. And you did kindness with all the children of Israel when they went out of Egypt. And the Canaanites turned away from Amalek. And then Saul smote Amalek from Havilah until you come to Shur, which is in front of Egypt. And he seized Agag, the king of Amalek, alive. And he completely destroyed all the people with the edge of the sword. And Saul and the people had pity. And what did we just read? God warned us against our own emotional input. And we live in a world right now where everything has become bumper sticker emotion ideology, coexistence. Everybody's equal, peace and love, no room for hate in this home. It's beautiful when you are a progressive, liberal, leftist who doesn't realize that there are at least 1 million people across that fence that would like to cut our heads clear off and march across the land of Israel to destroy everything in their past. Everything that goes across them. Man, woman, child, every piece of vegetation, which is exactly what they did in Gaza when we gave it to them, when we pulled out of here with our tails between our legs. And Saul and the people had pity on Agag, and on the best of the sheep and the cattle they kept it. And the fatlings and on the fattened sheep and all that was good. They didn't want to destroy them. But everything which was vile and feeble, they utterly destroyed. Is that what God told them to do? No, God said get rid of it all. And then they made their own decisions, which led to their downfall and destruction. And the word of the Lord came to Samuel, saying, I regret that I have made Saul the king, for he has turned back from following me, and he has not fulfilled my words. And it distressed Samuel, and he cried out to the Lord all night. And Samuel arose early in the morning to meet Saul, and it was told to Samuel, saying, Saul has come to Carmel, and behold, he is setting up a place for himself. And he passed and went down to Gilgal. And Samuel came to Saul, and Saul said to him, May you be blessed of the Lord, I have fulfilled the word of the Lord. And then Samuel said, What then is the bleating of the sheep in my ears, and the lowing of the oxen which I hear? How come you follow the word of the Lord if I still hear the cattle and the sheep? Weren't you told to destroy everything that belonged to that evil? And Saul said, Well, we brought them from the Amalekites. We took them because the people had pity on the best of the sheep and the oxen in order to sacrifice to the Lord your God. But the rest we've destroyed. And Samuel said to Saul, Desist, stop right now, and I shall tell you what the Lord spoke to me last night. And he said to him, Okay, tell me. He said, Even if you are small in your own eyes, and you are not the head of the tribes of Israel? And didn't God appoint you the king of all of these people? Go, and you shall utterly destroy the sinners, the Amalekites, and you shall wage war against them. That's what God said, to utterly destroy them. Now, why did you not listen to the voice of God? But instead, you took the spoils, and you did what was evil in the eyes of the Lord. And Saul said to Samuel, yep, I did. I listened to the voice of the Lord. I did go on the mission on which the Lord sent me, and I brought their king Agag. I brought that Amalekite king alive, but I've utterly destroyed the Amalekites. And the people took from the spoil, the sheep and the oxen, the best of them, to sacrifice to God in Gilgal. And Samuel said, does the Lord desire burnt offerings and peace offerings rather than obeying the voice of the Lord? Behold, to obey is better than a peace offering. To listen, to hearken, is better than the fat of rams. For rebellion is as the sin of divination, and stubbornness is as idolatry and teraphim. Since you rejected the word of the Lord, he has rejected you as king. I'm going to stop here for a reason. The only reason I'm even bringing this up, I could talk about Rosh Hashanah, I could talk about the fires, I could talk about more and more about the evil of Hamas, how much they want to destroy us. But in reality, it isn't Hamas that is trying to destroy us. It never has been. Amalek, if you look in the Torah, every time Amalekites come into the picture, it's only after Israel introduces division, strife, and doubt into the camp. Then the evil always falls upon us and threatens to destroy us. It's in every generation. So what's the lesson for today? The lesson for today is to understand two things. Number one, we don't have to fear. We take precaution. We make sure that we are secure in our surrounding environment. But what are we fearing? How are we fearing Hamas? I promise you, the man holding this camera, he doesn't fear Hamas. As a matter of fact, he wants to go right now to pay them a visit. So do all of his friends. All of them living here. So why do you fear them? Haven't you learned by now that we are a part of the nation of Israel? That we are lions that roam this land? All it's going to take is a little bit more unity. All it's going to take is for us to listen to the word of God. And then this fence line won't exist anymore. The tunnels that were right underneath me right now, that I've been in, they won't exist anymore. Only thing that we will have is each other. And I swear that will bring our redemption. Now, for all of you watching, the last thing I'm going to say is about redemption. Sunday, September 13th. That's not this Sunday, but 1 week from this Sunday. I won't be here on the Gaza fence. I will be overlooking Bethlehem with soldiers and security officials, and we're going to be planting your baby olive trees, your roots of redemption, directly into the soil. Those trees are going to be these sentries, like this fence is, to stop this evil from coming over and taking what is ours, our land. So too there, once you plant that tree into the ground, they cannot uproot it. And that tree and your trees for your family, for your church, for your synagogue, that will grow and provide shade and sustenance and stand guard on those hilltops so the land of Israel will not just remain in our hands, but will remain in our children and their children's hands for perpetuity, as is written in the Torah. So, stay right here. I want to do one more thing. I brought two flags. This flag is over my heart because this is the flag on the earth that I'm standing on that I never want to leave. This flag is here for a reason as well. All of my American friends there understand very simply. You've seen Iwo Jima when they planted that flag into the earth. This is the one ground that the flag can touch without us thinking it's a disgrace, because this is the land of Israel. This is the Holy Land that must represent unity, for each and every one of those stars are all within that blue box together and not separate. What I love most about this flag is that there's only one star, because we as a people are one. We're all united under one flag. God bless you all. No matter if you're watching this from Texas, California, Canada, Russia, Mexico, Central America, anywhere in the world, understand that Israel is your home, Israel is your heritage, and you should never, ever stop flying what is important and proud to you in your heart and soul. Teach it to your kids, because at the end of days, this is all they're going to have left. Much love from Israel. Am Yisrael Chai. And Hamas can kiss my ass. And that goes for all of you. All of you should scream that out loud. Don't be afraid.